So I let AI plan my entire gym workout for 2 weeks. No tweaks, no mercy, just ChatGPT versus my body. And the results were way more surprising than I expected. Okay, so here's the deal. AI is doing everything these days, from editing photos to writing code to even helping people flirt. So what happens when you ask it to design a full-on muscle building and strength workout? Can a free chatbot replace an actual personal trainer, or is it just digital junk disguised as fitness advice? For the last 2 weeks, I've followed the strength and muscle building program created entirely by ChatGPT and the free version with some tweaks along the way. Halfway through, I decided to tailor it for an advanced lifter.
I'll adjust the program to an advanced level and make sure each day has a consistent intensity.
Today, I'll break down exactly what it gave me, how it hit each muscle group and structured the workout. Was it fun to follow? And most importantly, if it actually worked. Hello, my name is Peter and I'm a qualified and more importantly, still practicing physiotherapist. It took me well over 3 years and many years in practice to learn how to create a proper fitness workout that covers all bases. Can ChatGPT do it in 20 seconds? I sure as hell hope not, but let's find out. My gym week starts tomorrow and the way it's worked out, I'm starting off with legs. Now I've been using AI in clinic and I found out if you're really specific, you can get some insane results, but I've never used ChatGPT before. So let's see what we can do with it. Perfect. Well, what I would like to do, I would like a good program for building strength and building muscle that runs 6 days a week and starts off with a leg day.
Got it. A 6-day program with a focus on legs on the first day sounds great. We can split it into different muscle groups for the rest of the week. I'll put together a sample schedule for you if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be good. And try and make it as scientific as possible, training each muscle group twice a week.
Perfect. I'll design a program that hits each muscle group twice a week and follows a balanced, evidence-based approach. I'll put that together and share it with you shortly.
This is scary. It doesn't even sound like a robot. Like the way it responds, it's like stumbles over certain words, delays certain things. That's scary. But yeah, right, get that sent through as soon as you can. So that did not take long at all, and we've got our split, and ChatGPT put it into a push-pull legs for the 6 days, which I'm beyond happy about. So day 1, we've got legs. Quad dominant strength and size is the name of it. So I don't know if you can see it there, but I'll have it up on the screen. After the first 3 workouts, so legs 1, push 1, and pull 1, I was left in a mixed batch. Now, the legs intensity was really good. Good volume, really difficult. Felt a bit of DOMS the next day. The push day was extremely underwhelming. It left me wanting more. The volume was low, the intensity was fairly low. I did like the pause reps, so I've been doing pause bench reps so that each of my lifts would actually pass in a powerlifting meet. So that did give me a nice bit of DOMS the next day with the slow eccentric. But I was left wanting more. I think I burnt like 300 calories in that session compared to all the others. The legs was difficult, that was well over 500 calories. And then the pull day was like the Goldilocks, pretty spot on, but spot on for a beginner lifter. So ultimately, these were all fairly simple. Structure I found a little bit weird. So we went with a barbell back squat, which for me is a low bar squat because of my anatomy, so not really quad dominant as the workout should have been. And then straight into Romanian deadlifts. Now, if I were programming a quad dominant workout, I would hit the quads first and then do the accessory, which is the RDLs, which hits glutes and hamstrings. But I will have to say my quads were definitely a lot more sore the next day, so it did the job at hitting the quads. The push session was two movements. So we had barbell press and incline press. Not really exciting. There was no adduction, there was no cables, there was no accessory lifts on that day. And then we were straight into lateral raises and shoulder press and then some triceps. It really felt like triceps was just chucked at the end quite meaninglessly. But again, workout was okay for a beginner. The pull day, however, was structured perfectly. So we had a horizontal pull, we had a vertical pull, we had straight arm scap strength, and in this case it was rack pulls or deadlifts. I chose rack pulls because Jay Cutler said it best. Deadlift is a leg exercise, the rack pull is the back day version. More on that one a bit later on in the video. And it hit rear delts, and it hit external rotators. The only thing was the biceps felt like, again, it was just thrown on the back of the workout. There was biceps done in a neutral position twice, so we could have done an incline curl or hammer curl on an incline, which will get the long head, or a standing cable curl where like the Jeff Nippard Bayesian curl to hit the long head, or maybe a preacher curl for the short head. A bit of variation would have been nice rather than two neutral exercises. During the next 3 days, the structure was similar to the first three, where the push day was really underwhelming. The leg day was tricky, but at least this time was focused on glutes and hamstrings. However, I would have really liked one quad isolation in this, so maybe just throw in some leg extensions just to make sure we still hit the quads, even though it's a glute and hammy focus day. The next one, the push day, was very underwhelming again. Very low volume for the chest, low volume for the shoulders, and triceps thrown in at the end, as you can see in all of this. Then we go on to the pull day. Now, this was the most enjoyable day I had throughout both weeks of training. And the reason for it, the old school exercises. Firstly, there was a single arm dumbbell row. Now that is the go-to, most alpha version of a row that you can do. It just feels old school, feels like you're actually building muscle back in the day with Arnold. And speaking of Arnold, the biceps were spot on. So first time round, bicep exercise, 21s with an easy bar. Now, I don't know if you've ever done 21s. If you're younger, you might not have. This was an Arnold classic. So it's 7 reps in the stretch position, 7 reps in the shortened position, and then 7 full reps. This absolutely fried. And then to finish it off, an exercise I haven't done in the last 10 years, a concentration curl. Again, it just made me want to bark at the weights. Felt alpha as anything in the gym, and I haven't done that for a long time. So I just normally do a preacher curl, but this was a lot of fun. Week 1 is complete, and ChatGPT has done an excellent job. However, there were some problems. Chest day, or push day in this case, was exceptionally easy, where leg day I found was hard but a good level of difficult. Pull day was somewhere in between, so let's see if we can even that out and then tailor it to an advanced program. So it has put a prompt there: would you like to tailor it to your level, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and equipment wise, etc., or more size versus strength. So I think equipment was good. So let's speak to ChatGPT. All right, ChatGPT, I really enjoyed last week's gym program. I like the push-pull leg split. I like the equipment used. Is there any way to make it more advanced for an advanced lifter? And difficulty levels of each of the workouts. So the leg difficulty level was good. Push was really far too easy. And the pull day was somewhere in between. So if we could get them all at the same difficulty and intensity level as legs, that would be perfect.
I'll adjust the program to an advanced level and make sure each day has a consistent intensity. I'll also fine-tune the exercises and volume to match that leg day difficulty. I'll have that updated version for you soon.
Brilliant, thank you. All right, well, we didn't have to wait long. We've got our breakdown. So day 1, legs A, strength and quads. Day 2, push A, strength focused. Day 3, pull A, heavy and explosive. Day 4, legs B, posterior chain and volume. Day 5, push B, high volume and isolation. Day 6, pull B, high volume and density. And then day 7, rest and recovery. So let's jump into the leg session. The next 3 days were some of the hardest, especially the first one, legs. Oh my goodness. We started off, right, barbell back squat, 5 rep max times 5. Now that's insane to go. Then you hit hack squats, sets of 8. Again, absolutely bonkers. But it doesn't just stop there. After that you got to get onto the Bulgarian split squats. And then following that, we're onto the leg press with a 2-second eccentric. That is 4 heavy compound movements back to back, and it absolutely killed us. Kirsty was unfortunate, my fiance, who joined me for this workout, and my word, we passed out at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, an hour after we got back from this. It hit the central nervous system so hard, and the legs took forever to recover. And I mean, yeah, it threw in some leg extensions at the end of 15 reps, which was nuts, and then some standing calf raises. So yeah, that bit's all right. Now, I personally don't think that many heavy compounds is needed, even though I told it for an advanced lifter. I think the structure of the first leg week, and I even told it this, was good. It didn't need to make that more intense. And again, the push day, just absolutely dead and underwhelming. Even though I asked it to make it harder, increase the volume, make it more advanced, it didn't do the job. The pull day, very similar, so I'm not going to repeat it. Pretty much spot on, the Goldilocks of all the days. However, ChatGPT made one mistake on pull day, and that was starting off with heavy deadlifts, which is a leg exercise. And on a pull day, the day before your glute and hamstring focused leg day is not ideal. So I asked it why it did it, and it actually apologized. So check this clip out. Okay, so now it's time to see if ChatGPT knows why I chose exercises, and of course I'm going with the deadlift. So we'll throw a subtle one in here. Hello ChatGPT, can you tell me if a deadlift should be programmed on back day or leg day?
That's a great question, and it can depend on your training goals and how you structure your program. Generally, deadlifts are considered a compound movement that targets both the posterior chain, like your hamstrings and glutes, and your back, like your lats and traps. Because of that, they can be placed at either a leg day or a back day. If you're focusing on the posterior chain and overall leg strength, you put deadlifts on leg day. If you want to emphasize the upper back and overall pulling strength, you can include them on back day. Some people even split them up and do them on a separate day entirely. It really comes down to how you feel and your specific goals.
Brilliant. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I agree completely. Would you necessarily program deadlifts the day before a posterior chain leg day?
That's a great consideration. Generally, deadlifts are pretty demanding on your posterior chain, so it can be a good idea to either place them a few days before your leg day or give yourself enough recovery time between them. If you do them the day before, just make sure your legs are well rested and you're not too sore. It's all about balancing the intensity and allowing your muscles to recover properly.
I agree completely. So why did you program 5x5 RPE 9 deadlifts the day before a leg day that focused on the posterior chain? This will be interesting.
That's a really good point. I probably should have taken that into account more carefully. Ideally, if the deadlifts are quite intense, it would be better to space them out a bit more so that you can give those muscles enough recovery. Thanks for pointing that out. If you want, I can definitely tweak the program to make sure there's a better balance.
No, that's all right. Just wanted to see if you understood much, but very impressed. And also, the more I think about it, the more I've realized that there was absolutely no chest supported rowing movement in the whole of yesterday's back workout. Now, the chest supported stuff takes out the lower back, takes the pressure off, but instead we had deadlifts, we had pendlay rows, we had that weird row with a barbell, all of which loads the lower back. And then today, to hit it with RDLs as well, and then some glute ham raises, there was just lower back, lower back, lower back over the last 2 days, so I'm not surprised my lower back is struggling. But on the plus side, for the next 2 days, the last push day and the last pull day, it actually looks pretty sound, so I'm super keen to get into the gym, and hopefully it'll be a bit more of a challenge than last week. So the last 2 days after my complaint, so apologies for that, were really tricky. They were good tricky though. However, again, the chest day, just not enough volume. I just feel like my chest wanted more and more and more. Normally I do a really heavy, so 3 to 5, either bench or incline bench. Then I'd go on to machine, dumbbell or barbell, the opposite version, and do 4 sets there. And then I would do an isolation of either the upper chest with some upper chest flies on cable or normal flies, or an adduction movement. So I would do an extra 4 sets a day on my chest movements. And then my shoulders, I'd normally do 2 lateral delts and an overhead pressing type movement. So an extra set there as well. And then triceps, I tend to do a bit more than what they threw in here. So yeah, just not impressed with the chest workouts, and I'm surprised it didn't change the intensity and volume after I asked it to. That was the only disappointment. The pull day, which I hit this morning, was awesome. I really enjoyed it again, except for the arms, which just felt like they were chucked on at the end. So I asked myself the question, did it actually feel like ChatGPT made the exercises more advanced? Well, yes, because it threw in weighted pull-ups and weighted dips, that sort of thing, but also it tried to throw in some intensity techniques. Now, I asked it for science-based, and I wouldn't say these intensity techniques were 100% science-based. So it did throw in some drop sets, which was awesome. It was horrible at the time, but it was good, except for it didn't make the last set of a couple exercises a drop set. It gave me 3 sets of lateral raises, all of them drop sets. And then it did include some slow eccentrics and tempo reps, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that. The one thing that was weird was the seated cable row on the last day where the pause was in the contracted position, and 3 sets of 15 reps with a 3-second pause in the contracted position. That took me ages, although the pump was absolutely incredible. I would have, however, loved to see some more modern variations, so including some stretch partials. Now, I know it's not the be-all and end-all, but it would have been nice just to do some stretch partials on a lat pull down or bicep curl or something like that. And then things like myomatch sets. So I've done myomatch before. Dr. Mike, shout out to you, because that was hell, but it makes you feel insane. I would have much rather seen a myomatch set as opposed to just drop sets of every bit of that exercise. And what I did like with the more advanced thing, it did give us like some notes at the bottom. So it said use RPE 7 to 9 unless stated otherwise. Then tempo work, apply slow eccentrics 2 to 3 seconds down to isolation lifts for more intensity. Rest time 2 to 3 minutes for compounds, 60 to 90 seconds for accessories, again, quite good. Progressive overload, add reps, weight weekly, rotate variations every 6 to 8 weeks. You don't have to do that, but I guess that is nice. And optional, add in daily mobility work or cardio list zone 2 if recovery permits. So yeah, to be fair, sound advice, and if you follow this, you will build muscle and you will build strength. As of today, right now, we've got ChatGPT version 5. Now, I did not know this was coming, so this has worked out perfectly. So I'm going to put it to the test. I want to see if it can program me a core workout using weights, cables, bars to target everything on my rest day. And I'm even going to ask it to rationalize why it chose certain exercises. So let's see what she's got. Hello, ChatGPT. Can you program me a core workout involving weights, cables, bars, whatever you think in a normal gym, to do on my rest day to target all of my abdominals and obliques?
Absolutely. Here's a comprehensive core workout that you can do on your rest day, hitting all the major muscle groups in your core and obliques. Core workout 1, hanging leg raise with twist, sets 3, lower abs and obliques. Tip, twist your hips slightly to each side on the way up. 2, cable wood chopper, sets 3 per side, obliques. Use a controlled motion and keep your core tight. 3, barbell rollout, sets 3, entire core. Tip, keep your back straight and avoid arching. 4, Russian twists with medicine ball, 20 per side. Focus obliques and rotation and core strength. Keep your core engaged and move in a controlled manner. 5, cable crunches, 15 to 20 upper abs. Tip, pull with your abs, not your arms. 6, side plank with hip dip, 15 to 20 dips. Focus obliques and transverse abdominis. Keep your body in a straight line and move slowly. Ab will roll out on knees.
I think she's crashed out, but that's not ChatGPT's fault.
Challenge and help with overall stability and strength. Let me know if you'd like any peaks or additional exercises.
So, really, really good. That's insane. Now, don't arch your back, keep it flat, yes, for the rollouts, but actually you want to create an arch the opposite way to get the core involved, not the hip flexors. But I've created a full ab workout. If you want to check that out, it's on here. But this is really good. There's 7 exercises, my word, 2 rollouts, 1 of the barbell. But I like the fact, so clear difference in version 5. Version 1 did not actually talk me through, or version 4 did not actually talk me through each one. It just like typed it out, couldn't speak it. But again, that could have been my signal. And this one even throws in tips for each exercise, which previously it never did. So that is quite interesting. It knew exactly which muscles we were targeting and it gave tips. So very impressed. I think this will fry me. Well, let's find out. So did the AI get it right? Shockingly, yes. ChatGPT didn't just throw together some random exercises. It actually understood the structure that it gave me and rationalized its exercise choice. And not only that, it gave me a push-pull legs workout, which if you've already watched any of my videos, that is my favorite split and I didn't even have to ask for it. Smarter exercise selection. This is better than programs I've actually paid for. I went into this expecting absolute chaos, but I came out genuinely impressed.